Koala Dreams. Life in the Eucalyptus Forest. In the misty dawn of an Australian eucalyptus forest, as shafts of golden sunlight pierce through the aromatic canopy, a small gray figure stirs high in the branches. Nestled in the fork of a towering river red gum, a koala named Luna slowly opens her dark, button eyes. Her day is ending as the world below awakens, for Luna, like all koalas, is primarily nocturnal. As she settles into her favorite sleeping position, cradled securely in the eucalyptus branches that have been her family's home for generations, Luna embodies the peaceful rhythm of life that has sustained her species for millions of years. The koala's existence is intimately woven into the eucalyptus forests of eastern Australia, creating one of nature's most specialized relationships between animal and habitat. These remarkable marsupials have evolved to thrive in an environment that would challenge most other creatures, finding sustenance, shelter, and sanctuary among the towering eucalyptus trees that stretch across the landscape like ancient cathedral spires. The Eucalyptus Kingdom. The eucalyptus forest is Luna's entire world, a vertical ecosystem that extends from the forest floor to the swaying crowns nearly 100 feet above. Over 600 species of eucalyptus trees the Australian continent, but koalas are remarkably selective, feeding on fewer than 30 of these species. Each tree species offers different nutritional profiles, water content, and toxin levels, making the koala's dietary choices a complex dance of survival and adaptation. River red gums, forest red gums, and gray gums form the backbone of prime koala habitat, their broad branches providing perfect platforms for resting and their leaves offering the specific blend of nutrients that koalas require. The trees themselves are marvels of adaptation, their silver-green leaves hanging vertically to minimize water loss and maximize photosynthesis in the harsh Australian climate. The distinctive eucalyptus aroma that fills the forest air comes from the essential oils in these leaves, the very compounds that make eucalyptus toxic to most animals but provide koalas with their unique ecological niche. Luna's territory encompasses approximately 15 hectares of prime eucalyptus woodland, overlapping with the ranges of several other koalas in a complex social network. Each tree within this range serves a specific purpose. Some are preferred for their tender young leaves, others for their comfortable sleeping positions, and still others serve as highways between different sections of the forest. The koalas have mapped every branch, every comfortable fork, and every reliable food source through generations of use. A life among the leaves. The koala's daily routine revolves entirely around the eucalyptus forest's offerings. Luna spends 18 to 22 hours each day sleeping or resting, a lifestyle that might seem leisurely, but is actually a crucial adaptation to her low-energy diet. Eucalyptus leaves are notoriously difficult to digest, containing high levels of indigestible fiber and toxic compounds that would poison most other animals. Koalas have evolved an extraordinarily long digestive tract, nearly 2 meters in an animal that weighs only 4 to 15 kilograms, to extract maximum nutrition from these challenging leaves. When Luna does become active, usually in the cool hours of evening and early morning, she moves through her arboreal world with surprising grace and purpose. Her strong, clawed hands are perfectly designed for gripping smooth eucalyptus bark, with 2 opposing thumbs on each front paw that provide an incredibly secure grip. Her powerful hindquarters and strong back muscles allow her to leap between branches with confidence, though she rarely needs to travel far to find everything she requires. The selection of leaves for feeding is a sophisticated process that demonstrates the koala's intimate knowledge of their forest home. Luna can distinguish between eucalyptus species by smell alone, and she knows exactly which trees in her territory will provide the most nutritious and least toxic leaves at any given time of year. She prefers young shoots and leaves from the tips of branches, where the concentration of nutrients is highest and the toxic compounds are more manageable. During feeding, Luna uses her sharp incisors to nip leaves from branches, then grinds them thoroughly with her specialized cheek teeth before swallowing. The entire process is methodical and careful, as koalas must balance their nutritional needs against the toxic load they can safely process. A single mistake in leaf selection could result in poisoning, making this daily ritual a matter of life and death expertise passed down through generations. The secret life of koala communities. While koalas are often perceived as solitary creatures, the eucalyptus forest actually supports a complex social network that governs koala behavior and territory use. Luna's world intersects with those of approximately 12 other koalas, including her adult daughter Mira, who maintains a territory adjacent to her mother's range. This overlap is not accidental. Female koalas often establish territories near their mothers, creating multi-generational neighborhoods within the forest canopy. Male koalas like the dominant male Bruno maintain much larger territories that overlap with several female ranges. During breeding season, which occurs from September to February in most regions, Bruno's deep, resonant bellows echo through the forest at night. These calls serve multiple purposes. They advertise his presence to potential mates, warn off competing males, and help maintain the complex spatial relationships that prevent conflicts over resources. The social dynamics of koala communities are subtle but sophisticated. Koalas communicate through scent marking, vocalizations, and body language that convey information about territory boundaries, reproductive status, and individual identity. When Luna encounters another koala in a neutral zone between territories, a complex ritual of approach, assessment, and either acceptance or avoidance plays out among the eucalyptus branches. Mother-offspring relationships are particularly strong and enduring. When Luna had her most recent joey 3 years ago, the young koala remained with her for nearly 2 years, first developing in her pouch and then riding on her back as it learned the essential skills of eucalyptus forest life. The education of a young koala is comprehensive, covering everything from safe branch selection and proper climbing techniques to the crucial ability to identify edible leaves and avoid toxic varieties. Challenges in paradise. Despite their perfect adaptation to eucalyptus forest life, Luna and her community face increasing challenges that threaten their ancient way of life. Climate change has begun to alter the delicate balance that koalas depend upon, with rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns affecting both the koalas directly and their eucalyptus food sources. Extended heat waves force koalas to seek water sources on the ground, exposing them to predators and human-related dangers. Habitat fragmentation represents perhaps the greatest threat to koala communities like Luna's. As human development creates gaps in the forest canopy, koalas are forced to travel on the ground to move between suitable habitat patches. These journeys expose them to domestic dogs, vehicle strikes, and territorial disputes with other koalas compressed into remaining habitat fragments. The invisible highways that once connected different sections of the eucalyptus forest through continuous canopy cover have been severed in many areas, isolating koala populations and reducing genetic diversity. Disease also poses a significant challenge to koala communities. Chlamydia infections can cause blindness, infertility, and death in wild koala populations, while koala retrovirus weakens immune systems and makes individuals more susceptible to other health problems. In fragmented habitats where koalas are stressed and populations are dense, these diseases spread more rapidly and have more severe impacts on community survival. The eucalyptus trees themselves face threats from changing fire regimes, drought stress, and invasive species that alter forest composition. When preferred food trees die or become less nutritious due to environmental stress, koalas like Luna must either adapt their diets to less preferred species or attempt to relocate to better habitat, often a dangerous and sometimes impossible journey. Conservation of an icon. The future of Luna's eucalyptus forest world depends increasingly on human understanding and protection efforts. Wildlife corridors that maintain canopy connectivity between habitat fragments allow koalas to travel safely and maintain the large territories they require. These green bridges over roads and developments restore the three-dimensional highways that koalas have used for millennia. Research into koala ecology continues to reveal new aspects of their complex relationship with eucalyptus forests. Scientists have discovered that koalas play important roles in their ecosystem beyond their obvious dependence on eucalyptus trees. Their selective browsing helps shape forest structure, their movements distribute eucalyptus seeds, and their presence supports entire communities of other species that share their canopy habitat. Community education programs help people understand that koala conservation requires forest conservation, and that protecting these iconic marsupials means preserving entire ecosystems. When residents understand that koalas need large territories connected by canopy cover, they become more supportive of conservation measures that might initially seem to conflict with development goals. Rehabilitation programs for injured or orphaned koalas like Luna have become increasingly sophisticated, incorporating knowledge of koala behavior, nutrition, and social needs. These programs recognize that successful koala conservation requires not just treating individual animals, but understanding and protecting the complex forest communities that sustain wild populations. The continuing dream. As afternoon shadows lengthen across the eucalyptus forest and Luna settles deeper into her favorite sleeping fork, her presence represents millions of years of successful adaptation to one of the world's most challenging environments. Her peaceful rest is supported by an intricate web of relationships, with her food trees, her koala neighbors, and the countless other species that share her forest home. The koala's dream is ultimately the eucalyptus forest's dream, a vision of sustainable coexistence between specialized species and their habitats, maintained across geological time through careful adaptation and mutual dependence. In Luna's quiet breathing and the gentle rustle of eucalyptus leaves in the evening breeze, we hear the ancient rhythm of one of nature's most successful partnerships. The future of this dream depends on maintaining the connections that make eucalyptus forest ecosystems function, the corridors that allow genetic exchange between koala populations, the diverse age structure of eucalyptus stands that provides food security across seasons and years, and the complex web of species interactions that support forest health. When we protect Luna's world, we preserve not just an iconic species, but an entire way of life that has flourished in Australia's eucalyptus forests for millions of years. In the gathering dusk, as Luna's breathing slows into the deep sleep that will carry her through the day ahead, she embodies the hope that this ancient dream can continue. Her trust in the strong branches that hold her, her instinctive knowledge of the forest's seasonal rhythms, and her connection to generations of koalas who have lived and thrived in these same trees represent one of nature's most enduring success stories. The eucalyptus forest continues to cradle its most famous residents, just as it has throughout the long story of their evolution together.